Visionaries, creative geniuses, modern-day Renaissance men. These are not the words that people who know Luke and Jorge would use to describe them. They are best friends, shameless connoisseurs of the basic and the niche. And most importantly, two guys just being dudes. Welcome to Bad Jokes and Semi-Wisecracks with Luke and Jorge.
Hey, I got an idea for the intro for the podcast.
Okay, what is it?
So instead of us just saying like, hello, what if we did like a jump scare? So like the little intro ends, ba 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 bum bum blah, 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 and then we say something really scary like boo, or like climate change or something, and then it's like really scary, you know. So people are like, ah.
What about like a Wilhelm scream?
Okay.
Just like, ah! Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have the little bum 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 bum, and then
do you want me to just go for it?
yeah.
Okay. Ah!
And then the people are like, "Oh no!" And then we could just start. Hi, just like that.
Okay. I did the scream twice, so we can just cut to when we go in.
Yeah.
Ah!
Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Did you like the jump scare intro?
Yeah, I really screamed there.
You did, at least once.
Well, don't give away my secret, Luke.
Ooh, is it a secret? It's a secret.
It is a secret.
Oh, shh.
You just ruined my secret, man.
I'm so sorry.
Dude,
Can you ever forgive me? What do I have to do to make it up to you?
well, it would help if you told me your name.
Oh, my name is Blue DaNube.
My name is Filthy McNasty.
Excellent. You know,
Blue, it's so nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too, Filthy. I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't have a name until you asked me that, and it says the word blue on your mic stand, and that's how we got here today.
Well, you're giving all my secrets away.
That one was my own secret. Hey, isn't that a song from like when we were middle schoolers? Some
Blue?
all my secrets away. Do you remember that one?
I do. I don't remember who it's by.
Me neither.
No.
I bet you it's just called like Secrets.
Oh, it's Secrets by One Republic.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's copyrighted. We can't play that.
Hmm.
But we could sing it.
Yeah.
All my secrets away.
That's how the song goes.
That's how the song goes.
Yeah. Should we make it a jazz?
Ooh, yeah.
Scuba doo ba ba to the jazz and jazz away. Secrets away. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome
My
to the
name is Blue
podcast.
DaNube.
And my name is Filthy McNasty. It's so good to see you. It's been a little bit.
It's been a little bit.
So,
A needle pulling thread.
a needle pulling thread.
Yes.
But will it pass through the eye of a needle?
Only if it like puts its arms and legs together and just kind of, you know how like you go down a water slide, kind of like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you got to be ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
How have you been, Filthy? You did this.
I did this. Wow. So many things have happened in the world, and we're not going to address most of them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
We only have an hour, so like
It's an hour.
It's an hour.
It's an hour. Please don't sue us, Mon Muljaney.
get on the pod.
Get on the pod.
Mon Muljaney. That's his name,
Yeah. It's weird that's a parent would name a child that.
right? Ah, my little Mon.
A little
Oh, I
Mon.
hate that. I hate that there's an audio clip of me saying that now in the world.
Yeah, and I'm the one in charge of editing it. What's on your mind? What things have you?
What things have I? Well, I have, since we last spoke, I helped some students sing songs in a musical, and that was very fun.
Ooh, I heard about that a little bit. I saw some photos on the social medias.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you. It sounds like y'all did a really fantastic job.
Thank you. It was very fun. It was live streamed, and we had, so instead of having like a live audience, we just had all the techies and me and the other directors and stuff. We were in the audience, and then we were mic'd because it was like really awkward to have like no cheering, so we would just like cheer really loud into the mics, so that way it would feel more like people were there.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Since I last talked to you, I was in a different city.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. You took me to the airport.
I did. It was early in the morning.
I got on a flight with 140 seats, and 30 of those were filled.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Did you have room to like sprawl?
I did. I didn't sprawl though.
Oh.
I feel like I always feel guilty in every space that I'm in, taking up too much space.
You didn't put your hat on its own seat?
No.
Oh.
I'm glad I got on the plane with so little seats though, because I meant I could put stuff in the overhead. Because I'm always worried when I have a thing to put on the overhead that I won't be able to fit it.
Oh, yeah.
I've never flown with an electric guitar before, and I did this time, and I was so nervous, and so I'm glad that worked out. It was also nice to not be next to anybody because COVID and all that.
Right.
The coronavirus. Wash your hands, get immunized, but also be careful. And
Right.
I'm glad I was this. Yeah, but I was in a city. It was fun. That is all I will say.
Okay, great. I'm glad that you had a good time.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm also
Thanks for driving me to the
selfishly-
airport.
You're welcome. And I'm glad that you're back.
Me too.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Has anything else big happened in your life since last we spoke?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I've been working. I've been talking to you.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's big.
That is big.
Yeah.
Wow. Big talking.
I'm glad we're making time for this in our schedules and our busy schedules.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anything big else happened in your life since we last talked?
Oh, yes. Today, we are recording this on a Friday. Last Sunday, so like 5-ish days ago, I have made the choice to try out the life of being a vegetarian.
Ooh.
Pescatarian. Vegetarian.
Congratulations on your new religion.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been, like 5 days, and it has truthfully not been very difficult. So that's been kind of fun. Yeah, I thought it would be really a pain, but it has not been a pain.
It sounds like surf and turf nights are going to have to be just surf nights.
Yeah, but honestly, like, I've been meaning to learn how to surf, so, like, that'll be good probably for me.
Can you teach me how to swim?
Can you teach me how to Dougie?
I think this arrangement can be made. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's provided that I remember how to swim, which, like, maybe.
How long has it been since you were, like, in a pool or in a situation where you could swim?
Like, in a pool, probably not very long, but, like, in a situation where I was, like, trying to, like, swim, like, to like, go fast, it's been a while.
Okay.
So, like, I could teach you how to not drown and die, but you're not going to get anywhere fast under my tutelage. Is that a word that I want?
Maybe.
I hope so. We can look it up later, and then if I'm wrong, then I'll just be wrong forever on the internet.
Cool. I'm
Amen.
fine with that.
Yeah, me too, about this thing. Yeah.
Well, all of that being said, you seemed rather excited at the proposition of propositioning. So will you propose to me your proposition?
I will. I will propose to you your proposition.
I often don't propose to you that you propose your proposition to me, but I propose that you propose this proposition. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will propose this proposition, and then after I'll propose that you propose your proposition to me.
Ooh, so in a way I am proposing that you propose a proposition to propose that I propose a proposition.
I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
we're
made
in love.
me the happiest man in the world.
Well, not yet. First, we have to like get the license and then like go down to the courthouse, and like my dad will be there with a shotgun probably. And
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So we got
Shouts to Dale.
yeah. I think I don't know if he's actually listened to this.
I have a feeling that if he had, he would have told you.
This is true. I definitely like sent him a link to episode 1 when we were moving in like whatever month that was.
Amazing.
Yeah. My mom is listening though. She's listened to episode 2 recently. So, hey mom, it's good to see you.
Jude, if you're still listening to this, I'm so sorry about what happened to your son. I was not involved.
He's dead.
For legal reasons, I might have to cut that.
Do you think this is funny? Goodness gracious. How did we get here? Anyway, I was proposing a proposition to you.
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to say ladies and gentlemen of the jury, but that's not what we say.
Members of the board.
Filthy shareholders, have you ever wished that you could run faster?
Ooh. All the time. I have a story.
Great. We'll bookmark that. We'll come back to that.
Bookmark it,
Don't
yeah,
forget. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I have the solution for you. It's a pair of shoes that makes you run faster. But you may say, we've heard that before. We all have a pair of shoes that makes us run faster. But nay, these are different. These are not shoes that you wear on your feet. these are shoes that you wear on your hands, and then you lean forward, and then you just start going on all fours real fast. And because you're on all fours, you can go twice as fast because you have twice as many shoes in contact with the ground, and you get all kinds of traction. You can run in the rain and the snow and the ice and the sleet.
Whoa, it's a real 4-leg drive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, they are shaped like gloves, but they have rubber soles on the bottom, like a shoe. Yeah,
I was gonna ask about the shape of them.
Yeah. So it's like an all-in-one. Like you get comfort, you get your fingers flossed, you get good traction, and they have laces. So you have to tie them with your teeth or have a friend, because you can tie one kind of with like one hand, but then when you go to put the other one on, then you're already wearing both of them. So like you gotta.
I thought they were shaped like gloves though.
They are, but they're not very flexible.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like about as flexible as a shoe would be. So you're not like, there's no needle threading with this.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Velcro.
Ooh, I love me. I haven't had Velcro shoes in like a long time.
You should get you some. You should get you some.
I should get me some with like the light up things in them. You know, how, like when you walk and then they light up.
Yeah.
Did you ever have those?
I did as a small child.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I ever did, but like people had them. You had them.
I had them.
What? Do people still have those? Is that like still a thing?
Kids still have those.
They
yes.
do? Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder who thought of that. We should have thought of that, really. That should have been our idea.
It convinces kids to walk more. That's not true.
But like, isn't that kind of like who was like, guys, I have an idea. Shoes that light up when you walk. Like I feel like I would never have thought of that before.
But
well,
gloves that light up when you walk?
Dude. Okay, new proposition.
This could be part of the same thing, man.
Yeah. So
the lights make you go faster.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so it's really, instead of it just being the shoes for your hands, it's really the whole set. You get a back pair and a front pair, and they all light up. And the faster you go, the more you look like just one streak careening down the path into wherever you're going, be it like the store or like into battle, maybe, or wherever you have to go.
All right, you sold me.
Yep. Okay,
you said
great.
into battle, and I was like, all right, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, you don't even have to ride like a horse or a wolf or something. You just are the wolf horse. That's the brand name, Wolf Horse.
Because it kind of feels like you're saying wolf force, but it's definitely wolf horse.
Yeah, or Wool Force, like the
Like
the special agents of
WOOL?
sheep. Yeah.
My name is 00.
What number is that in sheep speak?
You don't want to know.
And what happened to all the previous ones? Are there other, like in real James Bond? Is there like a 00 like 3?
Wait, is James Bond real?
Is he not? Mom?
Oh.
No, but for real, like, why is he 7? Like, where did that come from? Is there a lore there? Is there a reason why he's 007 and not like 001? Or like he had like a predecessor who got like iced, and so now he's 002. I need to know. I'm gonna Google it after this.
I think you should, because that's a great question. It's not something I'd ever really considered.
Me neither. Weird.
It's been a while since I played GoldenEye.
Yes. I don't think I've ever actually played that before.
What? That's
No,
fair. No, that's fair. The graphics they don't hold up.
Oh. I've also just been a Nintendo-less wonder my whole life.
I don't know how you survived.
I know. Oh, you know what? That's not true. I bought a Nintendo 2DS once upon a time so I could play Pokemon Ultra Moon. But the 2DS was I didn't pay very much for it, and there was a reason. So when it arrived, it was like in a situation where in order to get it to turn on, sometimes you had to like shake it, because I guess there was like a thing inside that like didn't really connect to something else unless you like shook it. So you'd have to like push the power button and then shake it, and then sometimes it would turn on. But also sometimes you'd be like doing that like a lot of times to get it to like finally work. And then I didn't even really like the Pokemon game very much. So after all that, I was like, this is like fine for a little while. And then I like traded away all my Pidgeys. And then I was like, well, now what do I do? So anyway, that's my entire experience with Nintendo.
Wow.
What were we talking about?
Wolf Horse.
The shoes for your hands and feet that light up and make you run fast. So what do you think, Filthy and shareholders? Are we sold?
Well, I made some suggestions, and you seem to have adopted them immediately. Velcro being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You suggested that they light up. So I think that's good. Yeah, I I don't really see any flaws in this product. All I see are possibilities.
Ooh,
Yeah.
like that one soup brand that we won't name because they're not paying us. But we will say their slogan, good, possibilities.
What?
Yeah, you know.
What's the brand?
Redacted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cut that. I'll
Okay.
redact it. I'm going to insert the word redacted.
Wait, do you need a soundbite of one of us saying the word redacted to stick in there?
Well, I just said it, so. And you just said it
Do you want to say it in unison?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Redacted. Okay, we can try that again because
Okay, yeah.
we didn't pick a speed.
Okay,
All
ready?
right. 1, 2, 3.
Redacted.
Jeez, man.
I'm sorry, I messed it up.
That's all right. It's all good.
One more time?
Yeah.
Okay,
1, 2, 3. Redacted. Okay, that's fine.
Redacted.
I think that take was great.
Okay.
And I'll use it for sure.
Great.
I looked off to the side. I tried the office. I tried the gym into the camera, and then
There's no camera.
There's no camera.
We're
here.
audio
only.
only. So we're laughing because
I pointed at a camera that
Yeah.
was in my room.
it's Jorge's streaming camera
Yeah.
other stuff camera.
Wow, I don't like how you said that.
That's super not what I meant at all.
It's a DSLR that I use to take photos. I'm really good at taking headshots. If anyone needs professional headshots, feel free to email us at lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com.
Nice.
But yeah, no, actually, so let's go back to what we're
Right.
talking
Yeah. Wolf horse.
Wolf Horse. I think it's good. I think I would share my shares with you.
Okay. Great.
Um,
My question is, what color would you want your shoes to be? Your wolf horse shoes.
Ooh,
'Cause-
like a space gray.
Okay.
So that when the lights come on, it looks like a spaceship in space, like lighting up, and then I feel like I'm running cosmically fast.
You are.
No, I'm
That's
running
the
comically fast.
How fast do you have to run for it to be comical?
Wolf Horse. I feel like the slogan should be any speed when I'm running is comical. But I have a slogan for you.
Okay.
Wolf Horse, unleash the beast within.
Isn't that already something?
Probably, yeah.
That feels like an Old Spice or something.
No,
sort of
I hate
slogan.
that. No, I don't want deodorant to say that.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's definitely better than good possibilities.
The snack that smiles back.
Wolf horse. I like that delivery too. It's like the snack that smiles back.
Wolf Horse. But Wolf Horse.
You're right. It does kind of sound like Wolf Force.
Yeah.
We should get T-shirts that say Wolf Force, and it's just like Special Agent Sheep on the shirts.
I can hear in my head the Mission Impossible theme, like the banana, and just like a sheep rolling around, like meh.
When a sheep rolls, does it dive roll like a person, or does it just kind of like fall to its side and then roll like as if it was like tumbling down a hill?
Yes.
Do the feet like kind of come up each time? Bloop, bloop.
Meh. And it does like little. It's like in Windows. The Google Chrome when you boot it up and you're not connected to the internet. You can play the little dinosaur game.
Yeah.
It does that to jump over the cactus.
Feet engage. Pew!
Just push off.
Why are there pterodactyls near the sheep?
Good question.
Thank you. We can move on from that. Anyway, so Wolf Horse is a go.
Yeah.
Great.
Let us, but we'll toss this to the shareholders.
Right.
Shareholders, tell us what you think. Are you willing to give Blue your shares for this? If you are, share your shares, sell your wares, climb those stairs, forget your cares, save the bears, split some hairs, rend those fares, stack some chairs, double dog dares, half eat the pears, gather your heirs, feed the mares, observe the rares, repair the tears, and don't forget to share those shares.
Wow, that was incredible. I can't believe you came up with that on the spot.
On the spot.
Wow.
I am a poet. And don't I know it?
Wow. Good. Wow, that was great. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a proposition for you.
Yes.
I propose that you propose a proposition to me. That is my proposition.
I'm on one knee.
I do.
Cool. Here is a proposition for you.
Great.
Have you ever tried... Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this out there into the world. It's kind of a half-baked proposition, so we're going to see where this goes.
Okay.
Oftentimes, I enjoy playing a certain role-playing game with my friends.
Oh, does it have 3 letters in it?
At least, yeah.
Okay, great.
The letters, 2 of them are the same letter.
Great.
It's DND.
Right, that's right.
I enjoy playing this game. Oftentimes, right now I'm really lucky. I think right now we're really lucky to be in a campaign that meets at a regular time. And, is willing to... Everyone communicates really well about when we can and can't meet and stuff like that. Sometimes.
Right. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But have you... And I know that you have. But have you ever been in a campaign that's, like, struggled to schedule?
Yes. Even sometimes when a lot of those people are, like, around each other a lot of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, is it really this hard to get this, like, 5 people all in the room at the same time for, like, more than 3 hours?
The answer is yes.
Yes. Very hard.
Yep.
So this is my proposition. Imagine, and this could be for other things too, but this is really what gave me the idea. Imagine an application that you download onto your phone, and it's called Clear Their Schedule.
I'm both excited and afraid about where this is going to go.
Imagine you connect with your friends as if it were like a regular social media, or you like import your friends from Facebook or Instagram or whatever, right?
Okay.
TikTok,
Do you have friends on TikTok? Is that how that works? I've never had TikTok before.
If you follow somebody and they follow you back, you become friends and you can like share.
Oh.
Like you can send each other messages and stuff. That's
Okay.
how I send. This is more informative for you. I think some of our audience base might also learn something, but maybe not. I don't know.
I didn't know any of that, and now I know that.
So that's when I share memes with like others of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drop some names, and I'm sorry if you didn't want me to say your name on this podcast. I'm only using your first name. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So like Aiden or Tristan or Max, or Michelle. Folks that I follow. Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Andy.
You all know Andy.
Yeah. Andy. So folks that I follow and follow me back, I can send messages to, and that's like an easy way of sharing TikToks. I have to like copy the URL and then send it to you.
Because I'm a peasant.
Yes, you have a flip phone. Just kidding. You super don't have a flip phone.
My first phone was a Razzle.
Really?
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Razzle?
Oh yeah.
I feel like every time I mention the Razzle, people are like, "What's that?" But I'm really glad that you knew about it. It had like the little angle on the bottom and the full keyboard. It was great. It was mostly green. It's great.
That's a great phone design. I miss when phones were like funkier looking and had like colors on them.
Yeah.
Like late 2000s cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah. Things that would flip or turn or slide or
Yes.
something were
Yeah,
great.
I miss like physical keyboards on phones.
Yeah.
I oftentimes want to like just tilt my phone to the side and like have a keyboard that I hold on to and like type out.
Ooh, like the slidey up kind where like the screen just like scooches.
That wasn't my first phone was a flip phone, but my second phone was like a sliding up keyboard situation.
Okay.
And I miss that phone every day of my life. I like having a smartphone that, is intelligent and does things and like voice activated and stuff like that. But a lot of the time I'm like, ooh, you know what would make this phone situation better? Slide out physical keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my new proposition. I'm just kidding. So imagine on your smartphone that doesn't have a physical keyboard. You download an app. It connects to your social medias. You import your contact information, and then it takes like a couple of days to hack into other people's phones.
Oh.
And basically, it goes into their calendar and just wipes a time that works for you into the schedule of other people who you need to schedule something with. So when you suggest a time and you say, hey, do you all want to play, for example, Dungeons and Dragons? So it could be any TTRPG.
But only those, nothing else like, pick up basketball. Why did I think of pick up basketball?
Pick up basketball is not a thing you schedule.
clearly I've played pickup basketball before.
Oh.
I guess that's why they call it pickup and not like pre-scheduled basketball.
Pre-scheduled. But it's weird. I have in my calendar pre-scheduled basketball.
Sorry, I have to go. I have a basketball appointment in 10 minutes.
I'm taking the morning off. I have a basketball appointment. But yes, so you download this app. This app blocks out a portion of time, and I save TTRPG because then you can do like 4 hours at a time.
Gotcha.
Carves it into other people's schedules. So when you suggest a time, like, hey, we're gonna meet at 6, and people are like, oh, I think I have. Oh, I guess I'm free for 4 hours.
Whoa.
Wow, is this an invasion of privacy? It's definitely not good. Is it intentionally malicious and some would say selfish? Definitely. But does it make my life easier? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is why I would like to suggest, what did I call it? Clear their schedule.
Nice. Can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
What if it only deleted things that were work? Because I'm thinking about like all the things that I have in my calendar, and like a lot of it's work, but a lot of it's also not work. And like I feel like I'd be bummed if I missed like, one of my non-work things. But boy, would I be glad if I looked at my calendar and it was like, oh, I don't have work today. Weird. Okay.
I think work is a frequent enough thing and a necessary reality for enough people that they would notice if it was like a work thing.
But if my internet calendar is the end all be all of where I should be at any time, then if it's deleted, then it must not be real. Work can't hurt you if you just delete it out of your calendar.
That's really the moral of the story. I think you're right. I think you're correct here.
Thank you.
No, I think I would program this program, or I wouldn't program. Somebody else would program it.
Right.
They would program it in such a way that it would only do things that are non-malicious.
Okay.
Do
you have an example of something that is non-malicious?
So, I'm not going to cancel your date with, your SO.
Okay.
But I am going to say you don't have to go to that party of that person that you kind of really don't know, and you won't have anyone else that you know there.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't want to go to that party anyway.
Yeah.
This is hypothetical to all the people that were... I'm not trying to diss anybody.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's funny because I was invited to a party where that could have been the case, but I actually really want to go.
Oh.
And I don't know that I can.
Oh.
We're going to find out tomorrow.
Clear your schedule.
Clear my schedule so that I can go to this party. Yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Concerns? Sure, but we can move up past that.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Yep, I know where my priorities are.
Thank you, Blue.
Yep.
You're my boy, Blue.
I'm Blue, dabu-dee-dabu-die. I'm kind of impressed that we got this far into the podcast without that happening with one of us named Blue. But anyway, questions? Yes. How does it burrow its way into somebody else's phone?
So if you're connected to, it connects to social media and stuff, so it's able to get other people's emails.
Okay. Oh, so then they got everything. Cool. Okay. So say you clear my schedule. Am I aware that you've cleared my schedule?
No.
Okay.
You might be like, this is suspicious that I have a exactly 4-hour gap of time here.
Okay.
But
it's not like I get an email notification like, Filthy McNasty has cleared your schedule for 4 hours on Sunday the 24th.
No.
Okay. Good. I mean, I guess that would kind of defeat the purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have the app and someone else tries to clear your schedule, does it have a shield?
Only if you subscribe to the app.
Okay. The paid version?
Yeah, that's how we make money.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Okay, yeah. Well, this all seems great and with no issues, so I'm on board.
I'm glad you agree.
Yep. Yeah.
Incredible.
Should we ask the shareholders?
Shareholders. Do you want me to?
Are you gonna?
Should I?
You could if you want to.
Okay.
Maybe you should mix them up though a little bit.
I like the way you're thinking. I'll go backwards.
Great.
Shareholders, repair the tears, observe the rares, feed the mares, gather your heirs, half eat the pears, double dog dares, stack some chairs, rend those fares, split some hairs, save the bears, forget your cares, climb those stairs, sell your wares, and most importantly, share those shares. That should be a sound that we have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something about that. That's
yeah. Nice. Google. Clear my schedule.
Clearmyschedule.com. .org.
.edu.
.co.mx.
Wait, is that something real?
It's Mexico.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
Dude,
I
come on.
didn't. I'm so sorry. I'm uncultured and ignorant. And
It's
terrible.
fine.
I know. It's the
All right,
worst.
Mexican Twitter. Roast Blue. Drag him.
Please. I'm glad that we had 2 successful ideas today.
Me too.
Not to imply that we don't have successful ideas most of the time.
Sometimes we don't.
That's fair. But today was a real banger. And MASH. When was the last time you did the Monster Mash? Is there even a dance to the Monster Mash? Because the whole song is about monsters doing the Monster Mash. But do people know how to do the Monster Mash? This is seasonally inappropriate, but we're talking about it anyway.
The Monster Mash is a song about another song called the Monster Mash, which we are told is incredible, but we don't know about.
You know what that feels a lot like?
The song Tribute by
oh yeah, Tenacious D.
Tenacious D.
That's not.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking the best song ever by One Direction.
Oh, which is the same situation.
Same thing, yeah.
This is the
Wow.
best song ever, but it's not this song. This song is in memory of the best song ever.
What
This,
a weird.
this is only a tribute.
The Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. We should do a mashup of songs that are actually about other songs, or an EP.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
An educational Palisade. Is Palisade a thing, or is that just a town near-ish where
I
we
think
live?
it's a thing, but I couldn't
Okay.
tell you what it is. I could
Hmm.
look it up. Do you want me to Google it?
Kinda. Yeah. I kind of want to know.
All right. Can you
Well,
cover for me?
What is a palisade? Yes. So, one time, I'm talking about thinking again. One time I was walking down the street. This is not interesting, but the other day I was biking to work, and there's a bridge over a little creek. When I bike to work on the trail, and there's a bunch of prairie dogs. And so I was coming down this hill, and I was going to go over this bridge, and there was a prairie dog, on the bridge. And I was like, that seems like he's lost. And so I was, coming down kind of fast, and I was like, I really hope this guy moves. And he, wasn't moving, so I, slowed down. And then I got up, right next to him before he was like, oh, I guess I should kind of run. And then he looked like he didn't know where to go because, he was, on this bridge. So eventually he, got turned around and, ran down the bridge and, into his hole. But I was like, buddy, don't stand on this bridge. You're a burrowing mammal. You need to be able to burrow. So anyway,
What kind of animal is
a
this?
prairie dog.
Oh, wow.
Or as
yeah.
my lovely girlfriend calls them, a prairie durgan.
I call them dead meat. Isn't that right, McFly?
Wow.
I figured out what a palisade
What's
is.
a palisade?
So, to quote Wikipedia,
Ooh,
a
that's dangerous.
palisade, sometimes called a stake wall or a paling, P-A-L-I-N-G, is typically a fence or defensive wall made from iron or wooden stakes or tree trunks and used as a defensive structure or enclosure. Palisades can form a stockade. So whenever you see fences or walls that are made out of stakes of wood or iron,
Gotcha.
yeah, often defensive. I guess they don't have to be.
So decorative? Why would you have a palisade if you weren't defending
I'll show you a
your
picture.
palace?
It is. I mean, they do look rather organized, so I'll give them that. But
Okay, that's a pretty cool looking.
fence design.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can imagine having an iron palisade that's not specifically defensive. Though it could be at this point. Though, what are you defending from, right?
True.
Right.
Bears.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, keep those bears out. Get those dang bears out of my neighborhood.
Those dang bears.
Those dang bears. They go on destroying stuff.
But luckily we have
Eat
our
my crops.
wolf horse, so we
Wolf
can run away from the bears. For a second, I forgot what the brand name was.
That's why I only buy wolf horse, to keep the bears out of my dang old neighborhood.
This feels like you're gonna go into an ad for FarmersOnly.com.
FarmersOnly.com for when you feel a little bit lonely and the corn ain't doing its job no more.
Wait. What?
We might have to cut that.
No. I have so many questions.
Corn is keeping him less lonely. Don't read into this too much,
It's too
please.
late. I already did.
Please.
Oh man. I feel like we had a bookmark in something from a while back. Do you remember what that was? You had a story.
Oh, I had a story because of have you ever wanted to run faster?
Oh, yeah.
You asked the question, have I ever wanted to run faster? And I was like, yes.
Right.
So do you remember in like the 6th grade, everyone who was in gym had to like run the mile?
Yeah.
So I ran the mile in gym class, sort of against my will, and I was the last kid to finish because I was a little overweight then. It's before I played soccer. Also before I had the body that I have now, which is also terrible. So I didn't run. I was like 11 or 12, and I refused. So I kind of couldn't run the mile. It took me 17 minutes to run the mile,
Okay.
which is pretty bad.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I was the last kid by at least 6 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And I make this joke a lot about like, oh, that was my nickname in middle school, but I actually got a nickname because of that.
Oh no.
It was Brown Lightning.
Oh no. Oh no. You know, I feel like I've heard you say that before, and I genuinely thought it was a joke.
Oh,
and to
no,
know
this
that
is
it's
true.
real makes me kind of happy and also very sad.
But then immediately after that, I started playing soccer, and I lost so much weight, and I became significantly faster. I think the fastest mile I run still wasn't under 7 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'm happy with a 7-minute mile.
Yeah, to cut 10 minutes off your mile time, that's not a lot of people can say they've cut 10 minutes off their mile time.
Yes. Yeah. This like heavily asthmatic kid suddenly lost a ton of weight and was real good at running. I was a center mid when I played soccer. My average run, like I would run like 4 miles a game.
Wow.
Yeah, for like middle school soccer and then like later high school soccer, but I wasn't good at soccer in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm music and theater now.
Right. Yep. I kind of played basketball in middle school, and I was real bad, and that's why I'm in music and theater now.
Hey,
Yeah.
shared drama.
Yeah. But now shared drama.
Hey, that's real bad. That's so bad. Do you ever tell your like students about that? About how you thought you could be an athlete and then super weren't?
So
And that's why you're here where you are now.
well, so anytime I try to like throw something into something, like usually trash into a trash can, I more often than not will miss, and then I'll make a comment about like, oh, that's why I'm not a PE teacher or something. So my last class of the day, 2 days a week, is just a homeroom class, and it's only 6th graders. And if I'm being honest, we've kind of run out of things to do because it's toward the end of the year, and so they have a lot of downtime, and so they like to draw on my board. And so one time they were like polling the class like whether kids played sports or not, and I was like, I played basketball in 7th grade, and they were like, oh, you're a basketball something, and I was like, well, no, like it was bad, and I was bad, and I never did it again, and they were like, it counts, and I was like, ma, you're being real generous with this. And then I told them that I played soccer in 1st grade, and like same thing, they were like, oh, you're a soccer player, and I was like, no, like
No,
wrong,
no.
incorrect in so many levels. So yeah.
Haven't played soccer in the like 20 years since.
Yeah. That's like probably, well, like I guess PE, like you have to sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But like,
I like the sports that we played in PE. Like high school PE was the only reason that I got into ultimate, like frisbee.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
And I'm like crazy grateful for that. I think playing ultimate has been like so much fun in my life, and I don't do it anymore. And I like never really did it in any sort of like very serious like, time, except for like intramural leagues in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was bad at it then too, but it was a lot of fun.
Is that your favorite PE sport?
I think of the PE sports. It was either that or like flag football.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Which we only did like twice before the PE teacher was like, yeah, this is a bad idea.
Because too many kids were losing teeth and stuff.
I think one kid got slightly hurt, and he was like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
We also did weightlifting in high school,
Okay.
in high school gym.
Nice.
That was like a part of what we did. Again, a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Learned a whole lot. Haven't used those skills a ton since.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I feel like I could go back to them if I needed to. I think I talk bad about a lot of gym teachers that I've had in my life because they're like, the oftentimes the stereotypes of a gym teacher is that you think of a gym teacher and you're like, this isn't someone who should be teaching gym.
Right.
This feels like someone who hasn't seen a gym in a long time.
Yeah. And they're holding a clipboard.
And it's quote unquote the easiest class.
Right.
But like the amount of effort and even this is someone like sometimes this is how I characterize my high school gym teacher as like this. All things considered though, he put a lot of thought into the stuff that he was teaching. And was it my absolute favorite class in high school? Absolutely not. Was it, a class I think about very often? No. But is it a class that has taught me a ton of things that I still carry with me? And every once in a while, a skill comes out of that I would like use in real life? Definitely.
That's awesome.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's one of I can definitely name a lot of classes that have taught me a lot of things that I've never actually used.
That's real. Yep.
But, that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a class or anything like that you're like surprisingly useful?
Surprisingly useful?
Yeah.
That is a good question. Can we come back to that? I have a couple of PE things first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I took 3 PE classes. We were required to take 2, but I took an extra one, like some kind of beefcake or something.
Ooh.
That's me.
A beefy boy.
I'm a real athlete. So the first one that I took was just like intro to PE, and we played like lots of sports, and I discovered that I'm weirdly good at badminton.
Oh, I can believe it.
So I haven't played badminton probably since then, but like I would crush it at badminton in the gym in PE. So that's my one PE thing. And then after that, I took 2 more classes, and it was beginning weights and advanced weights, and so it was just like, just lifting weights the whole time. But my high school we were on like a block schedule, but not like a regular block schedule. It was a schedule where you would have 4 classes a day, every day for 90 minutes. And then each class was half the like length of the year that it would normally be. So like a year-long class you would finish in a semester, and then a semester-long class you would finish in a quarter. So my senior year, in the last quarter of the year, I had advanced weights, and it was in the like first thing in the morning. And so that semester or that quarter, I had to like eat breakfast because I like would go to school on an empty stomach and then like be lifting weights, and that was a no good time. So I figured that out real fast. But that's the best shape that I've ever been in my life, because I was 18 years old. I was lifting weights for 90 minutes a day for like 8 weeks straight. Yeah, you could like see my shoulder muscles and stuff. And then I went to college, and then now I'm this instead. But anyway, I think back to that time fondly, and I was like, wow, I was in good shape for a second there, and now I'm not. So anyway, there's that. I had 3. Oh, my last PE thing is subbing for PE classes. So I subbed for a little while before I got like my real teaching gig. Subbing for PE classes was one of the worst things that I ever had to do, because I feel like notoriously the PE teachers that I would sub for, the plan was like open gym. And so if you have like 30 high schoolers and you just say open gym, that's like Lord of the Flies sort of situation. Like that's the time that I got hit with like the most pencils and stuff, was subbing for PE classes. But I will say that the 2 PE teachers that I work with now are not that. They're very good. But anyway, those are all my PE things. The end. The PE saga. Luke's PE saga.
Luke's Pasaga.
In 3 parts.
In 3 parts.
The trifecta. The Pisagecta. That sounds like a weird surgery that
sounds
you have to have.
No.
Yuck. Anyway, you asked me a question earlier, and I forget what it was. A class is weirdly useful.
Yes.
That's a good question. So, like, a lot of the music classes that I took in college, I use a lot.
Yeah. Some of the ones that were, like, required and everyone had to take, obviously, like, I didn't end up using all that much. Like, it's helpful to know a lot about, like, serialism.
Yeah.
As a, like, historical thing that happened in music.
Right.
Or it's, like, when I hear something, I'm like, oh, that's Handel. It's a weird focus on, like, 20th century music. Like, the amount of stuff I know about like John Cage and Milton Babbitt and the likes.
So I do music history with my choirs, and so this past week we did the 20th century, and I played for them the entirety of 433, middle and high school. And boy, is it fun to watch a bunch of middle and high schoolers squirm in 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. That's a good time.
Yeah.
They're very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time that we listened to it in college? Because did you listen to it before? Did you know before?
No, I super didn't. Did we hear it at the same time in that our advisor's class? I was trying to decide if I should say her name, and I'm not going to. But
Dr. W?
Yep. Yeah. In that class?
I'd heard about it before, but only in like the abstract.
Okay.
but I hadn't ever actually listened to it. So that was my first experience.
Do you remember that guy that was in that class and then he got into like an intense debate with Dr. W
Yeah.
and then never came back?
Yeah. He like clearly dropped the class after that.
Yep. I've never seen somebody rage quit a class like that guy did over 433.
Nope.
If you're not familiar with 433, there's a composer named John Cage who in the 60s, 70s, somewhere in there,
In that era.
yeah,
Right.
wrote a piece called 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
I
And
think it
it's
might have been like the 50s or the 60s.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just 4 minutes and 33 seconds divided into 3 chunks of just
Right.
nothing.
Because it's 3 movements.
Yeah, yeah.
3 movements of no music.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of different explanations of, why this is important. Honestly, you can't really even listen to a recording of it because it's silence, right?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be performed in order for the full effect to be felt. It's like all of the audio acoustic effect of like sitting in silence, waiting with like a big group of people, which we can't really do right now.
True. Yeah.
But this could be performed over Zoom.
It could. Yeah.
And then you have the like nuances of like people hearing stuff in their house, but also people hearing like the little clicking sounds over Zoom, and they're like, "Whoa, what?" And it's silence, right? Because it's being performed.
Mm-hmm.
Though somebody over Zoom, I feel like the likelihood of someone like, "Hey, sorry, I think you're muted."
No, I'm not. This is the thing.
That becomes part of the performance.
Yeah. How did we get onto this?
Usefulness of
Right.
classes.
Yeah. Oh, so
Surprisingly
yeah.
useful.
So that was really useful.
Yeah.
Listening to 433 for me, because then I got to play it for children and watch them squirm in silence.
Yeah.
I don't like that I said it like that, but we're gonna move past it.
I think because I also was in the department for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think a class that was surprisingly useful. It was a class that I knew was going to be useful, but I didn't realize how useful it was until afterwards. And this ties in with another class that I took for fun, and it ended up being one of the most important classes I took. But the first class was orchestration, arranging, and conducting with Dr. L.
Yes.
Honestly, one of the best classes I could have taken at Regis. Like, super, super, super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gave me a baseline for taking all of the things that I've learned in like private study with like my, in music school, you usually like take private lessons in an instrument, or if your instrument is voice, then it's voice, or some people are composition majors, so they like are in a studio with like the person teaching them how to, or guiding them through like the process of composition of like writing music. Either way, right? You sit there and you stand, depending on what your instrument is.
You could lie down on the floor.
Sometimes I've done that in my like voice lessons.
What about if you're taking like a wicked guitar solo or something?
I've never taken guitar lessons. I can say that.
Ah, man,
well,
you should get some.
But so yeah, like I took a lot of private lessons for a variety of instruments, things beyond just what I studied, which were like voice and bass. The most helpful class was orchestration, arranging, and conducting. And at any other school, it would have been 3 different classes.
Right.
But I think one of the advantages of teaching them all together, I don't think that any reputable music institution would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand that like one of the weird quirks that comes out of that is like they feed directly into each other in the classroom, and you kind of learn. Right, like I wish I could have learned more about conducting by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the beautiful things about learning conducting a piece that I also was arranging and orchestrating was how those things immediately tie into each other in like the modern landscape of music, which is a thing I've had to like, even if it wasn't something I wrote, like if I'm leading a group through something and it's something that I'm on the fly arranging, which is something I feel like I do at my job now, and I've done in other situations. Right, where you take the work or whatever song or piece you're doing, and even if I'm not leading, like being able to say like, oh, I can take this part, or I can give this part to somebody else, or whatever. I can change what I'm doing to like be a better musician for the situation, to do the most with whatever group of people or instrumentation we have. I feel like I've done a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that like when you and I have played in like our like jazz group together, that's come up a lot. Is like, oh well, who's gonna comp for the solo or whatever. Like, are we gonna have like backgrounds? Like, what is this gonna sound like? What is this gonna feel like? Who's taking the solo? Like, making those sorts of decisions in the moment that best serve the song, or the piece or whatever you want to call it. That class, there was a lot of little skills that we learned, and also like knowing like, oh, the instrument transposes and that's what that means. And there was a lot of voice majors in that class, and I feel like they also learned a lot about what do instrumentalists have to do and deal with and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that is important to like know and understand like what other people are used to and like how to meet them there.
It's also been important for like writing music. Is sometimes I'll come up with an idea and then I sit down and then I'm like, I want it to work for these instruments. And then I realize my idea doesn't work. So what are my tools to make the piece work with the instruments that I have or that I don't have or whatever? Like parsing those out in a way that makes sense. Like it's the little things that have made that class so worthwhile. Do you have any other classes that have been like super helpful for you?
I have one that is super unhelpful for me.
Ooh.
I guess not in like it hurt me sort of a way, but just like I haven't thought about it since. You want to know what it was?
I think I might be able to guess. But
Ooh.
go.
Wait, no. I want to know what your guess would be.
It was a one-on-one class.
Oh, no, not that.
Okay.
I'm going all the way back to high school for this.
Oh, I have no idea.
Calculus. Because I was like, oh, I am good at math and I could get credit for this for college, so I'll just take calculus. And then I decided to be a music teacher. And you know what music teachers don't need? Upper level math. So yeah, I haven't thought about calculus since then. And I had some friends in that class, haven't spoken to them since. So yeah.
Oh no, calculus really ruined your life.
Yep. You may quote me on that. I mean, you said it, but I can.
Can you say it so that I can quote you on that?
Calculus really ruined my life.
I want that on a T-shirt.
Great. Let's make a
Let's
T-shirt.
make a T-shirt.
Yep. Can it say wolf horse on the back?
Or
should that just be a different T-shirt?
Okay, 3 T-shirts.
Okay.
One that's just a wolf horse T-shirt. One that says that, and then one that's a wolf horse T-shirt on the front with like a little like on like the little corner of the shirt says that, and then on the back it's the quote.
Okay.
Calculus really ruined my life.
That's awesome.
And then like a photo of like a wolf horse.
So what does the wolf horse look like? I feel like we have to discuss logos and branding. Because I'm picturing like a black background with like a dark blue something, but I don't know what the dark blue something would be. I guess it would have to be like part wolf, part horse, or like a wolf and a horse.
An entirely new animal that looks neither like a wolf or a horse, except for that it has 4 legs.
And they're all wearing shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The new animal is a human.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It is brand new.
It is brand new.
As of however long ago. I don't know. Yesterday, maybe?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
Today's
the day.
Today is the day. Am I right?
You're right. You got a question for us?
Wow. Well, yeah. I just asked the question.
You have a question from the shareholders?
Oh, it's starting to dry up a little bit.
Oh, no.
Our stream of questions from shareholders.
Well, shucks.
We've been getting a lot of business inquiries. It turns out a lot of those are spam.
Wait, there's spam on the internet?
Surprisingly, yeah. It's not. It doesn't taste very good.
How do you... I like that better than the bit that I was going to do.
Oh.
Let's just go with that.
All right, yeah.
Well done. A+.
Thank you. Whoa, the teacher gave me an A+.
I did.
Wow.
You want to know a secret?
What?
I give a lot of A+. Like a lot.
I feel like that's something I expect with like a high school music teacher.
That's fair. Yeah.
And like especially middle school music teacher.
Yeah.
Did you ever get anything less than an A on a private lesson?
No.
I sure did.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it your piano lessons?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure I got less than an A, but that like not surprising. I think I got B's for showing up.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Andy Lee was very generous with his grading with me. He might have also given me an A one of the semesters.
Okay.
Yeah. I really respect that man and what he did. To be fair, I am a significantly better pianist than I was before that class.
Well, that's good.
Let's talk about a class. I have another class that fundamentally one of the most important classes I took in undergrad was my jazz piano lessons.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like we covered way more than actual jazz piano. Like he was like, "Oh, you're taking piano lessons with Andy? Cool. I'm not going to worry about teaching you like the fundamentals." Might have been a mistake. We should have. Andy was like, "Oh, I have the hardest part," but I like the way he shaped like my approach to jazz and to like contemporary music in general, like looking at chords, understanding chords and context of like melody and harmony and rhythm, and then also using that to construct again orchestrations and arrangements of tunes that already exist. Like I spent a whole semester and I like didn't touch a piano, but instead we worked on like turning melodies and harmonies that already existed into full arrangements of songs.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
could be played.
Wow.
Yeah. Were they ever played? No. I have people that I can blame for that, but I won't.
Do you still have them?
I have some of them, yeah.
Nice.
I know that some of them are on like a different computer, but at least one of them is on like a flash drive.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think they might be on like Sibelius, which I don't have access to anymore, but that's fine.
Gotcha.
I have some PDFs.
Okay.
Yeah. But like learning how to, turn musical ideas into music was really important. And then also learning how to like teach myself stuff, like giving me like an inside structure into how jazz fundamentally works from like a player's perspective beyond simply like theory, giving me the theory to be able to like work on things on my own.
Yeah.
Which is not a thing I necessarily got in bass lessons, right? There wasn't necessarily a thing I got. It definitely wasn't a thing I got in like voice lessons.
Right.
Not a thing I got in theory, but 100% something I got in that like one-on-one lessons with this professor.
Nice.
Yeah. Also a deep appreciation of MuseScore.
Oh, dude, I love MuseScore.
Uh,
If you don't know what MuseScore is, it's a music notation software that is free
super free.
that I use all the time.
That's what I use now because of this professor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's reasons for that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah. All right. What's a movie that you don't mind rewatching?
So, in my youthhood, I really watched the movie School of Rock a lot of times. Like a lot of times. And it's ironic that now that's like kind of my job.
I feel like that's an easy movie to rewatch.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But also, this was when I was like 13, 14, maybe 15. I can't imagine how sick my parents must have been of that movie. Like, it was to the point where I could probably quote like most of it front to back. And like, did I need to watch that movie that many times? Probably not. But I definitely did. And yeah. So that's one that I probably won't watch anytime soon again. Even though the last time I watched it was probably like more than 5 years ago, maybe.
Whoa.
I just feel like I've kind of hit my quota for this decade and last decade.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's totally reasonable.
Yeah. But more recently, some go-tos are like Emperor's New Groove. I'll always watch that. The Princess Bride, would always watch that.
Yeah.
I recently just rewatched Treasure Planet. I feel like we talked about this recently on the
Yes,
podcast.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still good. Still would watch it again. If you ever want to watch that sometime,
We could watch that. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
down.
cool,
I'm
cool.
always game.
great. Yeah, that's a good one. The Lion King, not the new one, but like the old one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that one. That's a good movie.
I watched the new Lion King to impress a girl.
Did it work?
Like way more than it should have.
Did you watch it with her, or did
yeah,
you just like?
with her.
Okay,
With her. Like
cool,
we
cool.
went to like a movie theater back when that was like a thing that people did often.
Right.
We watched the new Lion King. And there was more dates after that.
Great.
Yeah.
How did you like the movie itself?
It was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
I didn't dislike it. That's the thing. It just felt like part of the thing is the CGI, that's what it's called, right? CGI.
I think so. Yeah.
It wasn't great, or
Mhm.
like it was like photorealistic, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I would have loved something that didn't feel like actual animals,
Right.
Because it kind of was off-putting.
Yeah.
Um,
They're talking and singing.
yeah. Now, do I want something on the level of the movie Cats?
No one wants
No.
anything on the level of the
No.
movie Cats.
Nothing else is possible on that level of
Yeah.
the movie Cats. What were we talking about?
Movies we would rewatch.
Movies you
Yeah.
would rewatch. Other movies that you would rewatch?
Honestly, I feel like it's been long enough. I would maybe consider rewatching Cats.
Whoa.
Yeah, just because I know that it was bad, and I'm maybe down to see something bad again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Room, I feel like, is an easier rewatch for you.
I just watched that recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I showed my girlfriend. She had never seen it. Now she's seen it. Now I can say all the references.
And she gets it. Did she enjoy it?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think she was. Also, we watched it on YouTube, and it was edited for content a little bit. Like the duplicate
Whoa.
sex scenes in the beginning, those were
Mhm.
cut, and like the awkward like kissing on the stairs scene was also cut.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I felt like, that was like part of the like memeability is like, oh, we're going to have two sex scenes that are 15 minutes apart and clearly are just the same one copied and pasted.
Yeah.
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 So I felt sad that she missed out on that. But the rest of it was there. What are movies that you would rewatch?
I really enjoy, for whatever reason, movies that document the period of time during which the Watergate scandal was broken. Specifically, I have a poster in my room. It was given to me by a roommate. It was a poster in his room before that. And then we stopped being roommates, and he gave me this as like a parting gift. But it's a poster of the movie The Post with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. It's an incredible film. I really enjoy it. I haven't watched it since I rewatched it the first time, so I've watched it twice.
Okay.
Great movie. Highly recommend. There's the classic film about the breaking of the Watergate scandal by the Washington Post. I don't know if you remember All the President's Men.
I don't know if I do.
Yeah, I feel like I can rewatch All the President's Men. Yeah, it's a really incredible film with some really incredible actors. It's a very dated film. It's from the 80s. Yeah, but it's enough. It's so important in who I was as a young person. Like I really thought I was gonna be a journalist because of All the President's Men.
Wow.
Like I really thought I was gonna be like a hard hitting like newspaper reporter, and I was gonna meet some guy in a parking garage whose name was Deep Throat, but the whole reason for it was because he was going to give me secrets about what President Nixon's men were doing.
How did that go for you? Are you a journalist now?
I'm not a journalist. I guess it depends on how you define journalism. I'm just kidding. No. I'm not a journalist. But I have such a deep respect for what journalism is and should be. I still have aspirations for print media. I think it's the form of media I trust the most.
Why is that? Is it because it's like you can hold it?
No. I think that like objectively newspapers, and I'm besides like giant media conglomerate newspapers, so like the Washington Post, the New York Times, they are more susceptible to like real genuine actual bias. And so are cable like news organizations. So I feel like when it comes to news that I trust, oftentimes like big stories are broken first by newspapers. Local newspapers are invested in the communities that they serve, and so they end up having to do more work to actually bring news to the forefront. And so when actual news is put on the news, most of the time it's just recycling of big stories that were originally being investigated by newspaper journalists. Newspaper media obviously is under a lot of pressure because of digitalization, and so it's a giant change. But the press has always been important for like a free democracy.
Right.
There's a lot of counties in the U.S. that don't have newspapers, like entire counties, and I like
Wow.
that. That to me is one of the things that I'm like, if I had the money and if I had the means, like I would start a nonprofit. This is like, let me give you an actual proposition.
Okay.
Starting a nonprofit who only focuses on training newspaper journalists to work in some of these counties, because some of these counties are rural, they're smaller, they maybe don't have as much money, they don't bring in a ton in terms of like taxes, but stories happen there. Like news happens everywhere. Think like their communities need to know about what's happening in order to be properly represented, to hold people accountable when injustice is present.
Yeah.
I want to fund the training of newspaper journalists to go and start up newspapers in these communities. And then the second phase of this operation is turning it into because I don't want it to be a media conglomerate that owns, the rights to these newspapers or whatever. I just want to provide them the funds that they need to get started and then have it be like a mutual aid network, almost like a co-op.
Okay.
Right? The newspapers don't owe each other. In terms of like, there's some boss that they all have to work for. They try to be as self-sustainable as they can, and then when they can't, they help each other with funds.
Okay.
That's what I would prop up. It's not owned by one person. It's not owned by a corporation. It is a community, like a co-op. I think is like the best form of what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, but it would be like journalist owned. It would be worker owned print media.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this model, if it's successful and we can make it work, part of it would work on like investment. Like people would like donate and invest in our media. Probably not invest. I think donation is like the form that we would do this in. The nonprofit would take the funds and then, give it to whatever of these local newspapers needed in order to make it to the next year, to pay their staff, to be able to continue to upgrade and, the materials that they need and that sort of thing. And newspapers, even today, newspapers do significantly more than just newspaper. They also do photo, they do video, they do web, they do social media, they do radio, podcasts. They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think independent news organizations are the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, supported by other independent news organizations. That's if I had money and time, that's what I would do.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. That or open up a guitar shop.
Ooh, you could do both.
I could do both.
Yeah.
Again, I need money and time.
Right. Yeah, those are two things that are hard to have.
Yeah.
And hard to keep once you have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if I won the lottery, then
you'd have one of those things.
That's why I vote for me to win the lottery.
Yeah, the voting lottery.
The voting
Harambe wins every year.
Ah, dang it.
Oh, man. So those are movies that we would rewatch.
So those are movies that we rewatch. There's other movies I'd rewatch. I rewatched Step Brothers with you.
That's right.
It held up significantly more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
The Miyazaki films, like I'll rewatch Spirited Away.
Ooh,
My favorite is Kiki's Delivery Service.
That is a good one. It's like nice.
It's nice. It's very wholesome. It's about growth, and that's a top. It just feels warm and fuzzy. It feels like a warm bowl of soup.
Yeah,
feels good.
So that was not the first Studio Ghibli film I'd ever seen. It was probably like the 5th or 6th one, And so that part where she goes and meets the two old ladies that are baking a pie or something. I could have sworn that they were going to be some nether horrors or something that were disguised as old ladies, and the pie was going to be a poison death pie. And I was like, do not go in the house. Do not. And then they ended up being normal, regular old ladies. And I was like, I feel like I've been duped by the Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away stuff. Where everything is secretly creepy and weird.
Yeah.
And then those two old ladies were just actually nice old ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how low key Kiki's Delivery Service is.
Yeah,
a lot of the tension that exists at least early on in the film is interpersonal tension, and you're like, oh, this is an awkward situation to be in.
Mm-hmm.
More so than everyone's in danger, though it does have that.
Yeah, but not in an existentially the world is going to be destroyed sort of a way.
Yeah.
In a more realistic and normal sort of a way.
Though I do love the world is going to be destroyed. How do we deal with humanity and capitalism and unbridled greed and
worms on your skin
and the dragon spirit of the river.
Yeah, being turned into pigs.
Oh man,
that happens. Christian Bale in the year 2001 or whatever year that was.
Wait,
Howl's Moving Castle?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a giant fluffy being. What other princess?
My Neighbor Totoro? Is that what you were going for? With
Yeah.
The giant fluffy? Yeah. Although that one I feel is pretty on the level of Kiki's Delivery Service, where it's just nice.
It is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I have not seen in the longest amount of time.
That's a nice one. There's a
there's
cat who's a bus.
There's plenty of movies that I haven't seen.
Right.
But yeah, Princess Mononoke is pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
Spirited Away is also scary.
Yeah.
So much happens in it between the very beginning and the very end. The tensions are so high the entire time that you're like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind.
Oh, I don't think I've
Incredible
seen that
film.
one.
Oh, we should watch that.
Okay.
Maybe not tonight, but at some point.
Yeah. Cool. Did you ever... So back in the days of the VHS tape, I remember seeing ads on some Disney film for a movie about a toaster that maybe could fly, maybe. And it was an anthropomorphic toaster that went on adventures. Have you ever seen a movie about a toaster that went on adventures?
Yes. What was it called?
I don't know. And I feel like it may have been like back to back with an ad for Kiki's delivery service because I like have those two very closely
Oh.
associated in my head.
It's a Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, what a good name
Yeah.
for a toaster.
And it was like
Adventures.
the toaster was anthropomorphic, and there was also like a vacuum cleaner and like a lamp and a. Did you ever watch those films?
No, I just saw the commercials for them.
The Brave Little Toaster is, if I'm not mistaken, the Brave Little Toaster is one in a series of films. Like they go to Mars at some point.
Wow.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 films. I watched a bunch of them as a kid.
Nice. Do you remember enjoying them?
Yeah, I do remember like a lot of anxiety while I was watching those films.
Oh.
I was like, oh man, this is terrifying.
Like the toaster is in peril?
Yeah, and also, why am I rooting for a toast? Like, do I have to worry about my toaster doing this? You know,
Just like gets up and walks away and goes on an adventure.
like, because these films came out in like the late 80s and the late 90s.
Okay.
But like I watched them pretty early after they came out. So like maybe the year 2000.
Okay.
So I was like 4 years old, 3
Yeah.
years old, maybe 2 years old.
Whoa.
Realistically, my understanding of the world is so like I don't know enough of the world to know that my vacuum cleaner won't come alive
Right.
and also die. Like the fear that these creatures are gonna die is high.
Yeah.
That's stressful.
That is stressful. Do you want to hear something funny about when I was a youth? So,
Yes.
the very first time that I ever was old enough to like understand what an electrical like thunderstorm was, where like the power might go out and stuff, you know, I was young, probably like 3, 4, somewhere in there. And I don't really remember this, but supposedly I was worried that if the power went out, that we all as people would like die or like be frozen like the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz, or like cease to exist or something.
Yeah.
And I guess I was in like some real, like I was not having a fun time, and my parents had to like console me and stuff. So yeah, that was a thing that I thought in my youth once.
Wow.
The end.
Wow.
So that's my cool story. That's a movie that I would rewatch.
The Brave Little Toaster?
Yep.
You haven't watched it.
But I would rewatch it after I
you
watch
got
it.
me. You got me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the circle of life, baby.
The Iron Giant.
Dude, The Iron Giant. That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I would watch that again.
Yeah, me
For
too.
sure.
Dean.
Superman.
Dude, I forgot about that movie. That's so good.
Dude.
Man.
I think that movie I think we have to watch that. I think that's next on our list.
I think so. Yeah. But also, the ending of that movie and the ending of The Dark Knight Rises, it's like the same ending, you
Yeah.
know? Because like it's like there's a statue, and then there's like hope for the future, and then it's the end of the movie.
I think there's like a scene at the very, very, very end of the movie. I won't spoil it.
Right.
I won't spoil it.
Okay.
Maybe off mic.
Who's Mike?
Exactly.
Oh, Michael.
Michael, get out from under there, Michael.
Underwear.
You said underwear.
That's how I laugh normally. Because I'm a Mario character. Lario. So that was pretty
La
good.
Luigi. La Luigi.
La Luigi.
Yeah. Lario.
Lario. Yep.
I'm Ha Jorgigi.
Are you sure?
Nope. Maybe.
Okay.
It's up for discussion.
Great.
Yeah. My contract isn't up with Sonic though, so I can't go over to Mario.
Well, shucks.
Not yet. It will be soon though. I'm up for renegotiation, so
Okay.
who's to
Great.
say?
Do you have representation? Because I, for a low fee,
Oh.
could represent you in your legal proceedings with the Sonic and the...
I think I would I'm gonna pay you to be my lawyer because I am being taxed, and you know what they say.
No taxation without Blue representing you, Mr. McNasty.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to answer one more question before we
Why, sure.
head out?
That sounds great.
Okay. This is gonna be a really softball question.
I feel like every time you say that, I don't have an answer. Which
we can take a couple minutes to think about this if we need to.
Okay.
What video game should be remastered?
Skyrim. If you don't get it, it's funny because Skyrim was the last game that they released like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's been like re-released a bunch of times. That people keep buying it, but there hasn't been a new game in forever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I totally seriously.
Mhm.
I would pay for a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3.
Okay.
Yeah. The plot of 4 is so out there. I mean, like the plot of the first 3 is absurd also. But I'm really attached to specifically Metal Gear Solid 3, and it had the best graphics of the PS2. It's like unabashedly, it's so late in the console's history of its lifetime, but I would definitely pay $60 for a copy of a remastered Metal Gear Solid 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all the games that I played like in my youthhood. And like some of them that I still play, like Star Wars Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
always a classic.
That could use. I mean, it has been updated. It's
True.
for PC.
But that
Also,
was
I have the. Do you want to play that in a little bit?
Sure, let's do it. But I feel like the update, it wasn't just like a prettier face on the same game. I feel like it's like a whole new game.
Yeah, there's definitely like the mechanics of the game are the same, but like there's a whole lot more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I want to play the old Battlefront,
Mhm.
I won't get the same fix from the new Battlefront. You know?
You'd be surprised.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've played it like once or twice before, and to me it felt more Call of Duty-y and less Star Wars Battlefront-y.
Okay, that's fair.
But also like I kind of like the like nostalgia of like the graphics being bad and like sometimes you fall through a building for no reason or whatever. You know? Like
Yeah.
I kind of like the old PS2 quirks
That's fair.
with things.
I will say, the remaster of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was a godsend.
They did that? I
Yeah.
didn't know
I
that.
own it.
Really?
One of the most fun games I've played. I'm so bad at it, and it brings me immediately back to being bad at the originals
Nice.
with my brother.
Oh man, I was also bad at the original. Do they still have the endless grind that you can turn on and just like always be on the railing for forever and ever?
I think so. Yeah.
I remember that being
Yeah.
a thing in the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing it on the Game Boy.
Oh, dude.
It was the absolute worst graphics.
Yeah, I
that
bet.
it was a screen that was totally inadequate for this game, but I loved it.
Yeah. I feel like that game would be hard without like a joystick. Like just like with the D-pad.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, it for
Like
sure
on-
was.
like
I
on
think
a
it was
Game Boy?
2D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Line Rider but with a skateboard?
Kind of. I might have to look up what it looked like because I don't remember, but I remember enjoying it way more than I should have.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about Line Rider? Do you remember Line Rider?
Yeah.
I made a really cool one time, and I don't know where one saves one's Line Riders, so it's gone forever, I'm sure. But it was cool. It was neat.
Did you seen the video? Like, it's a pretty recent video of a line rider set to in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is
it's so good.
excellently done.
Yeah,
I don't know how long they spent on that, but it must have been forever.
years because it came out like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, fair
They've been
enough.
working on it for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Is there a video game that you would want remastered though?
I don't know. So like I know that they just remastered Kingdom Hearts, but I just played through like the old Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah,
and I thought it held up fine.
yeah.
Uh,
Graphics are surprisingly good. I mean, because it's cartoony,
mm-hmm.
so it like doesn't need to be like photorealistic.
Yeah.
It's like nice that it's cartoony.
Definitely. I hear that in the updated version, they added the feature where you can skip the cutscenes because that's the thing I
Yo.
remember most from the original was that you couldn't skip the cutscenes. But then also, part of me is like, if you can skip the cutscenes, then like, are you really earning it? That's like that's a thought that I had, because it's like you had to watch all those over and over again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely. I really miss the first like Dragon Ball Z, Budokai 1, 2, and 3 were my jam.
Okay.
Playing through like the storyline of Dragon Ball Z, in, like a video game format, I would 100% love a remaster of that like keeps the spirit of the original game. Along those lines, Naruto Ultimate Ninja. There's 4 of them, and the 4th one came out not that long ago, and also got like a DLC that was like the new Boruto stuff. And I don't really care about Boruto. Everyone hates on it, and I don't think it's terrible, but like Naruto ended my like freshman year of college, and I don't really care about it after that.
Yeah.
But I would, if they ever released one Naruto Ultimate Ninja, that's the 4 games, like that's the story of the 4 games compressed into one game, 100% I would buy that.
Nice.
Yeah. I think stuff like that, where it's like, here is the entire game in like a format that's easy to digest. I'm like, yeah, I'll put 800 hours into that for sure.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. That'll be the video game I play in 2022 for all like the entirety of the year.
Wow. I haven't even thought about 2022 as being like a real thing.
Well, it's not yet.
It's not. But I guess we're kind of coming up on like halfway already.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, you know what I feel like has kind of fallen out of like the realm of what is cool and popular?
What's up?
All the Lego video games, Lego Star Wars, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Harry Potter. I feel like I haven't seen one of those in a while.
My roommates were playing the Lego Star Wars, the original one.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun.
That-
They were playing it on like the GameCube version for the Wii, or like the Wii version, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a fun game.
Yeah. So this is embarrassing, but recently I meant to purchase like the original trilogy Lego Star Wars one, and then I did, and then it for PS2, and then it came from Britain, and it wouldn't play on my machine because it was from Britain.
Oh no!
So I just like never tried
so
again.
system locked?
Yeah.
Oh, or region locked.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep. That was a shame. But
I'll see if I can find my copy of the PS2
ooh, okay.
Lego Star Wars. And if I can find it, you're more than welcome to play it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, man. Well, I think that's been a podcast.
I think
It's been an hour and a half.
Hey, do you want to end it with a jump scare?
I think we should end it with the opposite of a jump scare.
So just like
affirmations.
you are good at whatever you're doing, probably.
Hey, it's a hard time right now, and you're doing the best you can, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Also, send us an email at lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com.
Sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Luke and Jorge Pod. You'll love it. We post things there sometimes.
It's great. Any questions, comments, concerns can all be emailed to us at lukeandjorgepod@gmail.com. My name has been Filthy McNasty.
My name has been Blue DaNube.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.